Hafaday, welcome to another great session of the Guam Contractors Association's GCA Today. And today we have a very special guest and newly elected Mr. Bill Beery, Chairman of the Trades Academy. Well, Bill, tell us all about the Trades Academy, where it's been, how it started, who's in charge. I mean, large and in charge. You've just been elected chairman of this excellent organization here in Guam, and with all that's going on, please share with us all the information that you have.
Okay, well, we formed the GCA Trades Academy about 12 years ago.
12 years, nice.
And I was on the original board of trustees along with John Robertson, Greg Perez, and two other gentlemen. And we've just kind of stayed there all this time operating, and John this year is spending more time offshore, so he stepped aside, and I ended up getting elected chairman from vice chairman. So,
right on.
But the board of trustees has stayed pretty constant all this time, and of course, we were started as a sister, I call it a sister of GCA, Guam Contractors. Right. And the Guam Contractors Association sponsored us, donated quite a bit of money to get us started. We had some major companies sponsor, put 10 grand a piece in to get us going.
Right.
And at the beginning, we hired Dr. Bert Johnson as our manager and executive director, and boy, that was a great move.
Yes,
he's been just super.
Yeah, outstanding. I mean. Yes.
The rest of us are just pretty faces.
And handsome faces. Yeah. I gotta ask you, Bill, from its inception, how many students would you say, I mean, what is the whole purpose behind the Trades Academy? There's got to be a reason why the GCA wanted to support the Trades Academy.
Well, way back, I've been on the board of GCA for a long time too, and we kept trying to run training, training programs, and Guam Community College was our primary basis for the classrooms. And they had a minimum classroom size of, I think it was 13. And we could never fill a class. We'd have 5 or 6 guys, but we wouldn't have 13. And because of financial constraints, we never got the classes going. So then we sat there and we kicked around having the federal government grants or something to help us get started. And finally one day in a board meeting, we all decided, hey, if we're ever going to get any training done, we're going to have to do it ourselves. And so we had 5 companies donate. And GCA sponsored Dr. Bert Johnson's salary for about a year and a half.
Oh, wow.
And
great.
It was just a concerted effort to do it ourselves. And the idea was to provide training for I call it craft training. It didn't, don't get me wrong, we're pushing apprenticeship and trying to get people to become journeymen, but the buzzword that really seemed to work at the beginning, and still does, is craft training. You give a guy 4 months of training on something and he's smarter than he came in, and he becomes a more productive and more effective for the employers. And so the intent was to support GCA's membership, of which they're, we got 500.
Oh, yeah, excellent, yeah.
Now you ask a hard question at the beginning of that. You asked many questions in one sentence. But I think we've touched, according to the office, something like 3,000 people.
Nice.
They've come to class, maybe they've graduated, they continued, maybe they're journeymen, maybe they're apprentices, or maybe they just took enough classes that they could afford, and then they went out and started practicing what they learned. So we've touched about 3,000.
Now, when you say craft, are we talking about, from welders to builders, iron workers? What crafts, if you can give me an example, electricians?
Electricians, air conditioning mechanics, equipment operators, welders.
Okay.
We haven't done real well at getting interest in carpentry and masonry, but we're starting. We're
Okay.
finally getting a carpentry class going. The construction craft labor course has been a real winner because it shows everybody a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Surveying, layout, plan reading, carpentry,
Wow.
masonry. It
Wow.
just touches on it though.
Wow.
They don't become an expert, but it's a good course.
Well, what it is, and in my opinion, the Trades Academy, I go in there and learn this craft or trade, and then I get hired by one of the GCA members, so to speak, and you know, I'm in that system, and if I choose to learn even more, become that journeyman of sorts, and then I climb that ladder of success.
Right.
That's outstanding, and I think the Trades Academy, 3,000 people, 3,000 lives that you've touched over the course of 12 years. I mean, that's highly commendable. Thank you very much.
I think we've made a dent. Department of Labor 10 years ago showed something like 2,200 locals in the construction industry. And today they show about 4,400.
Okay.
Now that isn't just because of the Trades Academy.
Yeah.
A lot of it has to do with people. The H2 program became difficult, and we ended up going harder at locals. But as a whole, I think we've created a good interest in the construction industry, and that's what we were trying to do, I hope.
Yeah, and you know, after learning, I've attended a couple of the luncheons from GCA, and then Dr. Bert Johnson came on and said that you guys are going to have your own home soon. You're expanding into your own facility.
We got a grant from the federal government for support of a new facility. So we've procured some buildings up in Tejan,
Yes.
new warehouses, and we're going to convert them into classrooms and shops and stuff like that. So we're going to have a bigger facility.
Nice.
And I think we're going to combine the offices of GCA as well as GCA Trades Academy and that sort of thing. But yeah, I think it'll be good. It'll be a better facility than what we have, although what we have right now is pretty good.
So let me ask you also, is if the Trades Academy, you're teaching these trades and crafts, have you connected with the local high schools, whether it be public or private?
Dr. Burt has managed to get a contract through the Guam Education Department.
Okay.
And we're going to provide training for high school students in the construction. I think it's going to be primarily construction craft labor, but it's exposing them to construction.
Yeah, this world of construction.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a contract that's been awarded, and so we're gonna and we've been training students, and we've had several graduate. I think this last spring we had something like 30 that came through, and we got them placed in the industry someplace. My company even had a couple, and they were really motivated young men.
And you know, I've heard of a couple stories that either from or because of the Trades Academy, this young guy started his own air conditioning shop. He learned the craft of air conditioning through the Trades Academy, and now he's venturing on his own. And that, I mean, I tell you that having these students, if they're not into books, so to speak, they have no intention of going to college, so to speak. They have an avenue, a way, and the Trades Academy is providing that. And that's a beautiful thing. Thank you so much for your time today. It sounds like the Guam Contractors Association, the Trades Academy, Guam Community College, all working together to make a better Guam.
Yeah.
Beautiful Guam. Well, let's say half a day to
There you go.
the entire island of Guam.
All right.
See ya.